Sir,
This meeting is being recorded.
Yes.
Sir Kulkarni, sir,
Yes.
sir, there is no Panchami Vibhakti in Kannada. There is no usage of Panchami Vibhakti. So instead of Panchami, they use Tritiya. Means Kauravarinda Pandavaರಿಗೆ ಮೋಸವಾಯಿತು means in the Desainda is the actual suffix for Panchami Vibhakti, but in Kannada nowhere they will use it. That is the thing. So instead of Panchami, they use Tritiya.
No. Just one second, one second. I mean, it may be that they are using the same surface form vibhakti, but the karak is there, right? The apadan karak is there, right?
Sir,
Yes.
Karak is there, but if you go through suffix, then it will be, if you go from basic suffix, then it will be Tritiya. But because that,
No. But hold on. For translation, we need to still mark it as apadan, correct?
yeah, we
Because
are still
otherwise, how
doing
will you
this.
translate to Hindi or Sanskrit?
Yes, sir, the challenge is based on the suffix. If you want to assign the
Ha.
Karaka, then you will be struck. That is the thing.
Yes. So the challenge is that the suffixes are the same suffix. That is the problem. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Tritiya they use for
Mhm.
Panchami also they use Tritiya.
Oh, so translation from Kannada is more challenging in this case because somehow the model has to figure out
If it
beyond
is in
the
the,
just the
yeah,
suffix whether
if
it's
it is in the Tritiya, whether it is actual Tritiya or Panchami.
yes.
Sir, if we consider the suffix, actually that problem is there with all the languages, I suppose. For example, here itself, like this say suffix
Ha.
is used
Yeah.
in multiple um, karaka
हाँ
labels, you can say.
करेक्ट मैं ट्रेन से उतर गया और मैं ट्रेन से कोलकाता गया it's
Huh.
both uh, same thing, right? Yeah, I mean the same say is used, so that is a clash. Hmm.
So in Hindi also clash is written like
Yes,
that.
Yes.
that say is that thing, but grammatically there are different
Yes.
karaks.
Hmm.
The
Huh.
Yeah,
prefix
grammatically it is different.
yeah. So that's what. So anyway, so I think we can start with thread 3 today because that is already being shared. So Karthika, if you give us a summary of what happened quickly.
Yes, sir. So, these are some of the examples of where the model had mispredicted. So here we saw, like as I said, now mostly because of post positions, or in some cases, in many of these examples, we also saw that the voice is the voice of the sentence, that is whether it is passive or active voice, was also mattering a lot. That is, if we see here, it is like most of the mispredicted sentences are in passive voice. um, ऐसा संभव नहीं होने पर उन्होंने आयोग से मांग की थी um, कि उनकी पार्टी को ही असली जनता दल मान लिया जाए. So here source is being predicted as recipient, and another example is recipient as is being predicted as object. So all this mostly we see that it is in passive voice. So the prediction is getting wrong, could be getting wrong because of that. That is, here उन्हें आईपीसीएल बोर्ड से आज हटा दिया गया. So here instead of recipient, it is predicting it as object because une and hata is being linked in that way. So it is possible that it is because of passive voices, and the model mispredict because of that.
Yes, so that means there is a good case to first predict which voice the sentence is in.
Yes, and also that is what we thought that data programming could be helping in this way, where we could um, give some rules with respect to such features, like whether it is the voice or remaining features like number or cases, everything. And other and some issues with the data set that we found was that the annotation itself was wrong. Like for example, this the model misprediction says that it is actually K4 and it has been predicted as K2, but the problem here was the sentence itself is not actually the relation between these two words is not actually K4.
Yeah, मोनिका को अदालत में पेश करने.
So उन्होंने कहा कि मुख्य न्यायिक दंडाधिकारी दिनेश कुमार
yes.
दांगी ने
Right.
26 नवंबर को मोनिका को अदालत में
Yeah, it's not
पेश करने.
K4.
हाँ.
It is K2.
Yes. So such examples are also there. Even this is another example where the sentence is annotated wrongly. And some issues were there. The training support was low. That is another issue. And one more thing we saw in Kannada data was that there were a lot of mistakes in the labeling itself. Very silly mistakes like spelling mistakes. If I could see it, yeah, there were these many different spellings for the same label. So this we have to take into consideration.
But a script can correct this, right?
Yes, we can correct this. Yes. Also, there are no data or very low data for these labels.
So these labels in thread 2, we will have to go over them, right? So it's very good that you have the data, because once we start going over them one by one, we will have to look at this data. If it is too low, then maybe we'll drop this or merge this with something else, something like that.
But I think some of them are important. Like PK1 is Prayojaka Karta, JK1 is
No, so yeah,
Prayojaka.
I'm not saying we will drop them en masse, but I'm saying what you have done will be very helpful for thread 2, because we'll have the statistics and we can pull out things. That's what.
Yes. This is summary of what.
Good.
So according to these mistakes, what we found initially, we were thinking there are like 94 labels when we checked the unique labels in the training data, but in actual, if we drop all this, there are just 55 around in Kannada training data.
55 what, 1,000?
55 labels, sir.
We have labels.
The
Okay.
Karaka labels. Huh?
Okay. Okay. All right. So I don't. So we will have the meeting of thread 2 and thread 3 tomorrow, correct? So we can discuss a bit more.
Sir, regarding thread 1, I have some updates. So the statistics and all, they are completely mentioned in the that master links, that file. I'll share the link once again. Totally we have, last time I had shown that there are some 34,000 odd sentences, but I found that there were some duplicates, some 2 files were duplicates. So 32,000 are the actual unique data that we have. And aligned plus proofread currently, that is alignment is also done and proofreading is also done. Such data is some 12,000, and translation 7.5. So nearly 8,000, 7.7 actually.
And on translation, is there clarity? You are getting the initial translation?
Yes, sir. We are getting the initial translation. That only we are uploading onto the tool and then do.
Okay.
Yes. So um, um, what is that? The machine translated Kannada also is there in the tool. Correct. So that is how it is. And currently the general speed as such that we are seeing for translation is some 200 sentences per day can be done is what we are feeling by a full-time translator. So if we do have a full-time translator, so a full-time translators can do around 200 sentences per day. That is possible. And I'll share the statistics link completely.
Yeah, where are the finding data? Where are you putting those things?
Tool, it is completely in the available in the tool as a scaleless tool only as of now.
Can you give us the data so that we can use it?
Yeah, sure. See, I'm sharing the link. You can get the data from there.
Directly from the tool.
Directly from the tool only you can get.
Oh, okay. I will keep it.
To sharing the link, huh?
Yes, sir. One second. Yeah, the link I have shared in the WhatsApp. I'm also doing the screen share. 1 second.
So how will we get to know that Chaitanya, this is the data that was done past, or we have like to use a few of the data?
Yeah.
So you sent us data. I'm not able to differentiate which is the.
Okay. I'll explain. One second. Yeah, fine. Now it is okay. No, not echoing.
Just by the way, one question. So is this file that you sent linked from that master document file?
Sir, this link is the Excel sheet. Yeah.
Should I link this also because?
Yes, sir. Sir, this NLTM thread 1 document I have linked, and in this document, the first one is the Excel sheet only, Excel link only.
Put this link also in the master sheet now.
Yeah, you can put that. That's fine.
I'm just putting it in the master sheet.
Yeah, sure.
So this is thread 1 file statistics.
Yeah, yes. So here we have 3 tabs, 3 sheets actually. One is alignment files, and the second one is proofreading files, proofread and proofreading both. And the third one is translation into Kannada. So we have 3 kinds of different files here. In the first one, the data which we have aligned here completely, that is up to this 40th cell, the first section, that is total here it is shown some 32,000 and 33 because currently some are being aligned, the one file I think. So these 32,000 data is unique data that we have, and Anujaji has uploaded some files which were aligned by IIT Roorkee people. So they are some 12,000 data. So totally, when we add up these two, 47K is what we have currently. Apart from this, Ayushji has suggested a book by Gandhiji, that is Experiments on Truth, of Truth, that one. With truth, I think something. So that the book also we will be uploading. So I have sent a message to Anujaji.
So that is already available in Kannada, you're saying? Kannada and...
Yeah, not in Kannada, sir, but Sanskritam and Hindi, I suppose it's available because as Anuja or Ayushji suggested that. So I have to see the data. I have not yet seen the data set for that. So I have sent a message to Anujaji, but maybe she is busy currently, but I don't know whom else to contact regarding this thing.
No, Kartika is the default.
Okay,
Since Kartika will help.
Eliza, okay. Yes.
So what is the exact question?
Yeah, we need the data set,
and you need its output on the SSKLS
yes,
interface.
Yes.
Kartika, can we just talk to Anuja then? Actually, Anuja was away on sick leave.
Yeah. Oh.
Kartika, can you just talk to Pranita maybe?
Okay. So can you repeat like what exactly you need?
I'll send you a message. We need the
Okay.
data set for that experiments with truth book.
Okay.
That's what we need.
By the way, so can you please explain the columns again? I mean, this is done by total. What does that mean?
Sir, actually, the meaning of here done by is different. So this I have copied from the tool itself, but actual done by means the person who has done the alignment. That is the real.
Okay, that is fine. That is fine. That is fine. I was looking more at columns F, G, and H.
Okay.
F is the total sentences in the data set.
Yes, in this
Okay.
file. Yeah,
Okay.
in this file.
Oh, and G and H is just a copy of that. So.
So it's just a small formula to split this into. So here we have to add it up. So we have added it up, and then okay, what is this? And let us go to proofreading part. Here in proofreading, the students who did the alignment along with proofreading, that data is still here. And students who have been assigned files which were not proofread earlier, they are the first 4 files, new data. So totally we have 12K which are proofread, and these are in progress currently. And let us come to Kannada. So here in Kannada we have yeah, these are all done files, and 7,700 are done sentences, completed sentences. So here we can observe that 20 hours is the decent average time for completing 1,000 sentences.
I see.
So 20 hours means it amounts to 200 or maybe 250, but we have to consider here and there. So 200, let us say, per day by one translator. That is what is possible as we are seeing here. And the first 5 have been assigned to different students. So whom has it been assigned is given here. So assigned to. So 3-4 people, students are there who are working on the translation, and some more. Another one person is also wanting to do this translation. So today I'll assign some files, one file to him also. And yes, so this is the overall update regarding the NIOS and alignment proofreading translation.
Chaitanya?
Yeah.
What's the status of assigning to as you had recommended?
Yes, correct. So that one, no, ad we had discussed as we had discussed earlier.
Hall number 40. It seems matter may reach around 10:35 to 10:40 a.m.
Sorry, Nagashri, what did you?
Sorry, who will come?
Oh, probably her. This thing is muted. Okay, unmute. Hari, Nagashri, Hariom. If Parikshit ji is there, can you please inform Nagashri ji to mute? Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Pushpa, for that question, no? Yeah. As we had discussed earlier, so currently our translators are working on NIOS. So since you had requested to manage it separately from KSU, so we had thought we had discussed in the earlier meeting also that you will be working on some Sudharma data, no? As of now. So currently, so they are working on Sudharma data.
Okay, not assigning any hours then.
Yeah, as of now, because we had discussed last time, no? So because of that.
Okay, no.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So that is the overall update regarding the thread one. This is the new person who is joining, Ganesh. These 4 are already doing, and this 5th one is joining.
Okay, good.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I think from thread 2, there is not much this thing. We did not have the thread 2 meeting last week. So there is no update on that. We will have a meeting tomorrow, so we'll probably get some more results next time. Okay. Ganesh, you want to add anything to thread 3? We already.
Well, actually, I had in the last meeting also talked about some interesting results. Maybe this may also help generate dictionary. So I presented some results on how we were able to generate for Malayalam some words by technical words, basically technical words, which are non-existent in any dictionary, by making use of a combination of transliteration from Hindi and a sequence to sequence model, which also learns the pratyayas specific to Malayalam. I think we ran through several examples in the last meeting for Malayalam, and we are doing this for all Indian languages. So this we're actually doing as part of the Udan project, Professor Arnab. But what was interesting is all the Hindi words are completely based on or most of them are actually based on Samskrita Pratipadikam. So what we are doing now, which I think was a very useful insight for this project, is we are splitting the Hindi word now into Pratipadikam, so that the sequence to sequence model, which generates output in an Indian language, has even more information to retain the Pratipadikam wherever possible, and add the language specific pratyayas. So this is, if you have time today, we can again show you that. But we showed that as those examples in Malayalam, and I think Professor Shivani was there and Chaitanya was also there in that last meeting. And they looked at several examples. So I think summarily, when it comes to Nutana Shabda Nirmanam, right, in Indian languages, we can borrow heavily from Sanskritam, and where the work has been already done for Hindi with Sanskrit as a basis, we can actually derive strength from the Pratipadikam form, and actually sequence to sequence models, which we have a pre-trained model, which we fine tune on some amount of dictionary data. We find very effective translation generation possible.
I see. That's.
I think at some point of time, our group, we will have to embrace this, that new words may have to be formed in Indian languages to be inspired by Sanskrit, right? We cannot keep transliterating. I mean, and
yeah, I completely agree with that, and I think that's a very important part of Indian language richness. So we should not abandon it. I mean, correct that it can generate words very freely, very easily. The Indian languages,
Sanskritam specifically.
Sanskritam specifically, inspired by Sanskritam, you can do that. I mean, I know examples in Bangla where we do this very often. So, in fact, what I would say is the pratyay part is probably more important, because the Pratipadikam, you can even pick up a foreign Pratipadikam, so to say, and add this. So this is an English phenomenon. I mean, but we can make it more formal in other languages, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think Pratipadikam is also important, because we will not get that strength necessarily in all the other Indian languages other than Sanskritam.
No, true. Pratipadikam is definitely important, and if we have got the correct Pratipadikam from Sanskrit, nothing like it. But I'm saying this phenomenon, at least in modern writings, I can see things that you pick up a foreign Pratipadikam and add some Sanskrit or the native language pratyay to generate a word which is easily understandable. If I use it, I don't have to explain what it means. That's what I'm trying to say.
Completely get it. Yes, I agree completely.
Yeah.
So by the way, I showed several examples to Professor Vishwabandhan Chakravarti, BBC. You know him, right?
Vishwabandhan Chakravarti.
Sorry,
Ah.
Chattopal.
Okay, fine.
I forget his full. I actually showed him several examples. Recently, he was at our OCR workshop in. So he had come down.
Achha.
And he's the kind of the he did a similar work for OCR Indian languages, right? I just tell you his name, his full form of BBC. So he looked at lots of examples we had generated, and he made an interesting point. He said exactly the point you made, which is if it also it's great to have Sanskritam based Pratipadikam, and he is completely in favor of Sanskritam as a linked language. And he said yet there may be multiple alternatives, and if the alternative that is most appealing or most natural in the target language is picked, that will increase adaptability. So
yes.
that was, I think, resonating with what you're saying.
Yes. Definitely. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Should we move to the last? Yeah. Anyone from ISC?
Hariom, one more thing. Pratipadikam and Pratyam, Pratyaya, no. That Pratipadikam is okay, but Pratyaya, what is the level actually? Pratyaya in the sense only for major Pratyayas. What do you say?
Yeah, it's only major Pratyaya, that is true.
Major Pratyaya in the sense, see, different levels of Pratyayas are there in Sanskrit. For example, Krit and all, some major Krits are needed for information. For example, some few Pratyayas are in Karta, Kartarartha, few are in Karmartha or Bhava, etc. But few Pratyayas like Su, Aujas and all, we don't need actually. So, and few Tadhitas we need. Otherwise, we don't need Pratyaya at all.
Yeah, you're right. See, mostly what I have observed, and please correct me here, I'm wrong. Mostly the foreign words that get absorbed are the noun words, nominal words, right? So and of course, this is that pratyaya that gets added to the noun words, not so much to the tadhita, but sorry, I mean to the tadhita, right? So those pratyayas are more important, right? Definitely not your suja. That is, nobody is going to construct things.
And also this pratyaya information and all, no, morphological analyzer gives these information. For example, now if we look at the samsadhani, that morphological analyzer gives almost all major information about pratyayas and dhatu and pratipadika, etc. Okay, right. So need to modify a bit. That's all. The tool. So, and all dictionaries available in Sanskrit, Pratipadikas only, actually. And also Vachaspatyam, no, the Vachaspatyam and Shabdakalpadruma, they are thesaurus. So they also give Pratipadika and Pratyaya information also, major Pratyayas.
So I always had this question: are these available in some digital format somewhere?
Yeah, all these are available.
No, I mean not as a web tool to query, etc., but as a downloadable resource that we can work in.
We have all these resources are available.
Okay. So maybe it's good to this. I mean, I have seen that you can use them. That you type in, as you said, sometimes you type in and it will give you these things.
In fact, actually, that Indriya, Gerard Hewitt-G and Abba Madam, they have used Vachaspatyam also.
Okay, so we can download, we can get the entire Vachaspatyam in that format from them. Okay.
You will get. Okay.
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 I'm sorry. I'm just.
Just summarizing what Professor Shivani was saying. I think Kartika, we should make a note. So, you are, which is the tool that you are referring to, which will give us
Samsadhani. Samsadhani.
Samsadhani from Amba Madam's group.
Yeah.
Kartika, can you make a note of this? And if we can also get a recording of the today's conversation, that will be helpful.
You are getting a recording.
And also,
Ganesh, you are a co-host, so you will get a link to this or whatever.
Okay, great.
And also, Arnabji, at KSU, we are preparing a database of crypt forms. All
nice.
There's no information, means Praktya, Dhatu, everything. They are for all 2000 roots. And each means Prerana and Sun and all we are preparing actually.
I see. Very nice. Okay. So that will be definitely
very, very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Chaitanya, you have shared it, right?
Yes,
that is what is Samsadhani, right?
Yes, sir. That is Samsadhani.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Sir, and excuse me, I just have to go a little bit outside, so I would like to leave from the meeting currently. So if I just come back, I'll rejoin. So
sure.
Please. Yeah.
So maybe we can move on to thread 4. Who is Pratosh is here? Pratosh is not here. So thread 4, anybody?
And nobody is there from thread 4? I thought I saw someone.
Namaste, sir. It's me, Rohan, this side from ISC.
Rohan.
So as we discussed last time, we initially presented our results on back translation. If you remember last time, sir, we got our best score on 16.1. Iteratively, to improve upon those results, we tried iterative back translation method, wherein we wanted to balance out the data between synthetic data and parallel data we're observing. And we ran some experiments, sir, and the trend that we observed on like gradually increasing the ratios between synthetic and parallel data was as expected, sir. So as we increase the synthetic data, sir, we kind of the scores got worsened and worsened as we move towards the noisier regime. That is one experiment we conducted, sir. And also when we balance out the data set, like the ideal thing that is to be expected is that the score should have been increased, but unfortunately, what we observed is that the score was just nearly on par with the same thing, sir. So the score now increased just by 0.1%, sir.
No. Can you? I mean, I missed it. So initially, what did you say? This is back translation. What?
Sir, back translation method, sir. So initially we tried out last back translation method using the available monolingual Sanskritam data set Sudharma. But the one fault we observed in that was that we didn't balance out the ratio between synthetic and parallel data set. So that ratio was there was a mismatch. So the noisier part was more overwhelming to the model that time. So we tried to balance out that part during our recent experiment this week.
So what is synthetic data? I didn't get it. So it's a monolingual Sanskrit. Then what are you doing?
Monolingual Sanskrit, we're using that to like actually back translate and then fine tune it using the same model, original backbone model which we used. By considering the back translated output as pseudo labels now. So you're trying to denoise the model, sir.
No, back translation means what here? I mean, I'm struggling with.
We start with Samskrita monolingual data, pass it to the Samskritam Hindi model, which we've already fine-tuned on Mann Ki Baat and NIOS data set, obtain the Hindi labels, and then again pass that to Hindi to Samskrita model.
Okay.
So you would kind of try to reconstruct a Samskritam sentence back, sir.
Okay.
So this is our pipeline, sir. So using this, we tried out iterative back translation as I mentioned now, and we didn't obtain much substantial increase, sir. We'll try to rectify what was the reason for that during our next course of works. I think there is an update from other group as well. Thank you, sir.
Do you want to say something?
Yeah. Okay. So, sir, last time we were trying, we had discussed about using Sanskrit as a. Actually, I have some diagrams, so I'll just share the screen. Yeah. Okay. I hope everybody is able to see the screen. So last time, like, we were thinking about like using Sanskrit as a. So I'll explain this diagram. So basically, we have two teacher models. One is Hindi to Sanskrit and one is Sanskrit to Hindi. So we would use, so we can see that Sanskrit is the common language in these two. So we would want to aid the Hindi to Kannada translation using these two models. So basically the model, which the student model will be trained with like two losses. One is the supervised loss and the other is a knowledge distillation loss. So this can be like varying KD losses where we can take like one layer or we can take like weighted over several layers. So early on, as we are trying, we thought that we'll just try with one layer and then we can try with different variants of knowledge distillation. So yeah, and one more we thought about that, say right now we are using Sanskrit as the intermediate language. And if we get like good results, then we can compare it one with just a usual model, which does not have KD loss. And also we can compare with, say, if we take Bengali like as some non-Dravidian language as the interlingua language, and if we are like performing better, then we can show that Sanskrit is a better interlingua in this context.
So one request, sorry, I got triggered a bit.
Yes.
But Professor Anna, Professor Shivani, in the context of at least our work, can we avoid usage of non-Dravidian, Indo-Aryan and all that, right? I mean, this, it doesn't suit our...
I agree completely. I agree.
What would be alternative ways of referring?
Doesn't need to put in brackets anything. Just counter is that you use another language. That's it. I mean, yeah.
So actually, then we wanted to have these two teacher models first, and then we can have a student model, the baseline student model, and then we can start training. So actually, like earlier, we had baselines from Indic Bhat model, which as Rohan and Pushpahasha had trained. So actually, there we were. So there actually. There was one model which was trained on 4,000 of Man Ki Baat data, and later on they had combined both MKB and NIOS. So, and the blue score that we were getting was not actually kind of consistent with what they were getting. So actually, we thought that we will train our own teacher models and go ahead with that. And if we see a trend of increasing blue score, then we are thinking that we will establish based on that rather than just taking the blue score, because we are seeing that there's some changes in blue score just by like last week we were busy like trying to figure that out actually. So we trained on Hindi Sanskrit and Sanskrit Kannada. And
just one question: the Hindi has got this lockdown, fitness, etc. in a non-Devanagari script.
I didn't get that part.
My question is, the Hindi data has got this non-Devanagari script English words as is, lockdown and fitness. I can see in the example.
Yeah, actually, this is there in the Man Ki Baat data. But the model actually is able to handle. It is actually property of the tokenizer actually. that it kinds of handles these. And
This is a question to the entire group, all of us. Should we avoid this non-transliterated words?
Ideally, we should. My only concern is the Bhashini expectations are that we should be at least able to handle the model should not. I mean, what do you expect the model to do when there is an English or Latin input as part of Devanagari script? From my understanding, Bhashini expects that we are at least able to handle. We are not just crashing.
Because okay, I get that point, but I mean this Hindi is so much adulterated. You see Namo app, okay, lockdown fitness, so it's basically English with Hindi grammar.
I agree. Yeah.
Anyway, but I guess I accept what you are saying. What your point that we should not say we can't do if such a sentence is presented to us. So it's okay. Yeah.
So at least in this case, it is able to handle. Probably we can keep it, and in future we see if we can handle it in a pretty nice manner. Here in this example, it has been handled in Sanskrit.
Yeah, I mean, my sense is, I mean, a model, you see the Sanskrit translation of lockdown, correct?
Sanchara Rodhasya.
Sanchara Rodhasya. Now, see, it's a very sensitive, because you are saying lockdown K. That is precisely what I was saying, Ganeshji and Shivaniji. See, lockdown K is a perfect example of a foreign word with a Indian pratyay.
Right.
Now, if I say in Sanskrit lockdown asya, would you accept it?
No.
Yeah, but then why not? The question is why not, right? It's just because we have been exposed to many of these lockdown K, but not to lockdown asya, right?
Right.
The grammar won't allow.
No, grammar doesn't allow lockdown K either in Hindi, but we are happy with it because we have been bombarded with that.
Yeah,
and we think that is normal. Now I can say lockdown is a Sanskrit pratipadikam. Who stops me? And then I make a sya pratyay, I add that thing, and I made say lockdown asya. Then we will all fret, right? That is just because our usage patterns. I mean, yeah. Anyway, what is the Kannada thing that is used?
Yeah. So I mean, what my usage of Sanskritam, if I had to say, John or whatever, right? I mean, I'm treating lockdown like John. Then John Mahodayasya, so I'll say lockdown Sityaha Samaye. Or not.
Lockdown ityasya. We normally use lockdown ityasya. Because no, see the difference is in Hindi and all the vibhakti is separated, no. But in Sanskrit that is attached. Even in Malayalam also it's like that.
Yeah. So what is the Kannada thing that is written? I cannot read. So if somebody can please read it.
But in Malayalam we can say lockdown in day.
It's written as fitness itself.
Sorry, it's written as
Fitness itself.
Fitness and lockdown itself, huh?
And what is a pratyay there?
Fitness and lockdown.
See,
yes.
so
in Malayalam we use lockdown in day. We can just add vibhakti there, no problem.
Okay, no, I think what we are doing is okay because this is the Mann Ki Baat. But what I was just trying to point out is that as Indians, we have this tendency that when it's Sanskrit, we must not use non-Sanskrit words. But for other languages, we are okay. We take that liberty. We don't fret.
I think that's where Sanskrit Interlingua is going to play a role in cleaning up, right? So we should also probably put our foot down and say the words be rather inspired by Sanskrit than by English.
Precisely. So yes, exactly. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Agree with you. That's why. But anyway, I mean, the question is if the input already is lockdown ki samay pe, then we can't do much, right?
Yeah.
But if
So
it's
I will distinguish the input from usage. In Hindi, we don't
yes,
want lockdown to be used. But
yes,
if the input is lockdown, we should be able to handle.
we should be having it. But the reverse is not true. If you say sanchar rodhasya, we should not say lockdown ke. We should not
Completely agree. Yeah.
So there is so there is this. It's not a symmetric thing. That's my point. So when we are see, that is why I'm worried that if you just give this data to some models, it will take it as pairs, right? You see, Ganeshji,
Right.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
So then
Yes.
if
Yes.
you're
Yes. Agree
training a
completely.
Sanskrit Hindi model, then it will keep on saying lockdown.
Completely agree. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking there are two ways. One is like what we are trying to talk about, whether constrained or the interlingua, basically, where the constraints are put in. The other possibility is that this can come in through parallel views of the data. So imagine that there were two views of the same Hindi. So maybe through some reprocessing we create another Hindi input which is inspired by Sanskrit, just so that we create another view of the data which is purer.
Correct. Agree.
So I see two ways of handling. One is, as I said, no, not data centric, but interlingua centric only. The other is also bring it in the data. Should we do both? I don't know.
One more information. Now see this Samskrita Bharati and with Bhasha Institute something, they are creating new words actually for such this. No, they have continuous workshops this month for creating such words in Sanskrit. How to add the vibhaktis and how to use such words and all. No, because Bhasha changes all the time. So I think by in a month or two, we will also get some good research, good progress in this direction. So if they are preparing a dictionary actually, so we can use it.
Where are these? This is I have heard this in the past, and it's really nice. Question is, where are these proceedings or the discussion outputs available for?
No, it's just starting actually this month. The 16th is the first workshop, 16, 19 like that. So end of the they will come with dictionaries. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Chamukrishna Shastri had mentioned this to me, and I'm really happy to hear. So you are part of it, right, Professor Shivani?
Our university is part of it.
Okay.
So actually, even the translators should take care of this lockdown. So what to be done when lockdown is there in the? When I was seeing data, sometimes translated into their Sanskrit or Kannada and sometimes retained. So that there should be some uniformity to be maintained or something, so that our models will also be.
Hariom, I have to leave, so I'm leaving.
So, Professor Shivani, if you don't mind 2 minutes, actually, I asked Devaraj to who did his PhD on Sanskrit speech processing. So, Shivani, the discussion we had on the Pratipadikam, the use of the Sadhini. Can you just once more repeat, because I think Devaraj will help register and act on it locally. So I just asked him to join. He had not joined earlier, and he's not part of the project, but I asked him to join because he's helping on that front. So do you mind just repeating that before you leave?
Yeah. Regarding about Pratipadika, right?
About Pratipadika, use of Tadvita, and then you also talked about the Samsadhini.
See, we have in Vyakarana, we have this Prakriti and Pratyaya distinction for just understanding the analyzing the language or generating the words. Okay, so that's why the Pratyayas are also divided majorly divided into 7. Okay, 7. So there, so adding some one category supratyaya. That's one thing. So adding those pratyas, we will get finite forms like Ramaha, etc. So there, those pratyas we don't need actually for analyzing other languages also. But the intermediate pratyas like Krit and Tadhida, they are very much needed. There also some high frequent pratyas are there, some 20 pratyas from Krit and 20 plus from Tadhida. They are needed for analyzing the words because words and sentences, because they also carry information. For example, karta, some pratyaya is there, so it indicates karta. So some lut pratyaya, sometimes it indicates adhikarana, sometimes bhava, sometimes karana. So such informations, such informations are needed for analyzing. So if we need, we can keep some 20 plus. We selected pratyas within the analysis. That was my point. And these already these are available. Pratipadika, pratyaya, and all. One is you can see that Samsadhini and Indriya, Gerard Hewitt's site, they are also doing the Prakriti Pratyaya.
Heritage reader, right?
Yeah, heritage. So, and you can see, you can go through this Samsadhani. Actually, it's some 13 pratyas are covered under Samsadhani, because I only created the data part that time. That was a part of my thesis, actually, PhD.
I see.
Yeah, morphological analyzer. So we did that. And Tadhida also, some 2 to 3 pratyas we have covered. Tadhida is not easy. But right now, what we are doing now, I thought we will take that morphological analyzer that is not complete. So, and we will develop a full-fledged morphological analyzer. So that's why we are working on database. Database in the sense now almost we are preparing Krit database. Krit database, some almost 700 roots are covered now, right now. So there what we are doing is we take a dhatu and collect available forms from Krit Rupanandini and all, Kritanda Rupanandini and all. And also wherever the missing, we are adding manually. Then we are cleaning the data. So by end of this month or something like that, we will have a complete Krit data with niche, sun, etc. Actually, niche, sun and all are not available anywhere. So we are preparing that also. And then Tadhida also, one group team is working on Tadhida data creation. So Tadhida also we are taking some 20 pratyas. That those forms are also not available anywhere. Even you don't get in Vachaspati and all. So we are preparing the database because we have Pratipadika's in Apthay Dictionary and Manuel Williams and Vachaspati and all. But full-fledged Tadhida information is not there anywhere. So these two we are preparing right now. In 1 or 2 months, this database will be ready, and we want to further develop the morphological analyzer for usage. This is the
Okay, this is very helpful. Thanks. Devraj, do you have any immediate question? I think she has to leave. Devraj, do you have any questions for Professor Shivani?
Not in particular. So they are covering Samasanta Pratyas kind of thing also, or
Samasanta Pratyas, we cannot directly see the Samasanta Pratyas. No, that list is very limited actually.
okay.
What we can do, because Samasanta Pratyas, what do? They just change the structure of a word. For example, if Rajan is there, so Rajan Shabda is Nakaranta, that is different. But the Samasanta Pratyaya, when we add Samasa Pratyaya in Samasa, particularly that is some limitations are also there. When we add, that becomes like Rama Shabda, Maharaja, for example. Like that, see if you, for example, Ejush Shabda. In Dvandva, when we do Rig Ejush, so Rig Ejushasya, it will be. Because by adding one Ach Pratyaya, Samasanta Pratyaya, we change the structure of the word actually.
Okay.
form. Yeah. So that also, that is very easy to take care of, because no, the list is there. So what we are doing now for Tadhita also, first we are collecting all the Tadhita forms available as examples and all. Okay. So then the Tadhitas are no Tadhitas, most of the Tadhita pratyas are no very limited, means listed for some words, for some particular meaning and all. So those things, no, we are generating those Tadhita forms actually.
And that Nijanta Sananta which you are preparing is from Dhatu Ratnakara or
See,
which one?
we have now, right now, we have Kridanta Rupa Nandini published by Aksha Samskrita Bharati. That is one thing. And Krit Pratyaya Mala, some 4 or 5 volumes are there. That is very old book. So those are also there. And also based on the Siddhanta Kaumudi, Ashtadhyaya we are generating.
Okay. Okay. So you have developed a new Tinganta with along with the niche and some generator in
Tinganta we have no. Tinganta you can see ashtadhyay.com. Even Tinganta forms are
now, now they are they have incorporated Sananta, Young Yangluganta and Nijanta.
Not complete. Not complete. And that also we are checking that also. We are see there also some mistakes and all are there. So we are preparing gold data.
So ashtadhyayi.com, does it even have an API or is it just the website?
It's just a website. There
is no API.
Website. It's a very useful website.
Yes, very useful. I completely agree. I'm just asking if they have also an API to programmatically query.
No, somebody has to take the dump of database and then use it for further purpose.
Yeah, Karthika, we should do that actually. It'd be very helpful. Okay.
So it should be scrapped.
Okay.
Actually, I can get the data if you want. I know Nilesh Boras, the one who created
If
it.
you get all the data, then it will be no useful for us for checking.
So
That will be very helpful, Pushpa sir.
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Yeah,
so
we can.
I just wanted to alert one thing. So next week, are we meeting? Because Pawan is not there. Many of us are traveling. So should we drop this next 2 weeks? Because and then meet again in January. Just wanted to raise this point. Pawan is not there. I will be also not there. I'm not sure what other travel plans, etc.
No, I'm also traveling, sir. Next week I'll not be there.
Yeah. So should we drop 21st?
We can drop. Shall I leave now? I have a class.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Professor Shivani. Devaraj,
okay, so we'll let you know, but most likely we'll drop, Professor Shivani.
And if you get the data from Nilesh ji, we can acknowledge him also. We duly will.
Yes, absolutely. I think
yeah. So we can conversate with our data. So if more data will be there, we can use those data also. Okay.
Karthika, just follow up with Pushpa on that so that we can make all APIs available. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So given the time, we should probably stop today.
Okay. Just Professor Arnab, since we are not meeting next week, can we just complete the analysis, the discussion?
This we should complete, and then we should stop. Yeah.
Sir, final point I wanted to make here was basically the Sanskrit Kannada teacher, the blue score is like lower as compared to the baseline model that you want to distill. So like, shall we get more Sanskrit Kannada data? Sure, like, should get. So at least it should be around 15 or 16. Then we can distill the Hindi Kannada and see the results.
As I understand, Sanskrit Kannada is the student model, right?
Sanskrit Kannada. Sir, here actually there is a typo. This will be Kannada. Actually. Yeah. So student model.
There's a teacher. The Hindi, Sanskrit, and Sanskrit Kannada are the teacher models. Yes. Hindi Kannada, the student model. So you are saying.
No, but that is okay. See, go back to the results. These are the two teacher model performances. And and together you have got Hindi Kannada is 13 point, which is okay.
Yeah, but which is not a KD, but it is not this is just a baseline on this data. If we do KD, so I was thinking that do we need a better teacher in first place? In principle, we can do with these also.
Yeah, in principle, let's do with this.
Okay.
See, the whole idea is that if you do this, that is better than the direct Hindi to Kannada.
Yes. Right.
So that we need to test with probably, as you said, with Bengali, maybe with Tamil, because that is again vocabulary wise, etc., and English. So that ideally, that's a complete pipeline to test. That whether Sanskrit is helping, we should test from different angles.
But was the bottom line that you got improvement? I'm just trying to.
Yeah. The bottom one is it's like just a baseline Hindi Kannada model. So it is not the student model. It is just Hindi
direct Hindi Kannada, right?
model. Yeah, trained on this data, basically using Hindi Kannada. It's just trained just like the teacher models.
Yeah.
So what was the Hindi Kannada do score as a result of the knowledge distillation? That number I'm not getting.
Yeah, that I have not done here, sir. Actually, I was thinking that shall we have a teacher which should be a better performant than the student?
Okay, you are hesitating to train the student till the teacher is better.
But I will do it. Like I just pointing it out in the meeting.
No, but one thing is that make sure that the data set sizes are comparable. See, suppose if you have got Hindi Kannada is 50,000 and Hindi Sanskrit is 20,000, Sanskrit Kannada is 5,000, then it's not fair.
Yes, sir. Right now I'm using like the same data, 6.8K, so should be fine.
For all of that, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
It's fine.
So at least, yeah, we will be able to reduce something out of this, and then we can increase data later on. And
you said you are using 6.8K for all, but just now you said that the Sanskrit Kannada is smaller. I'm a little confused.
Yeah. So I mentioned this point because
the blue score is low, but data set size is the same.
Yeah, data set size is same. So I propose that shall we add additional data, because in principle we can have more
surprising data. Because Kannada Sanskritam should be closer than Hindi. So why is Hindi Sanskritam blue score way better than Sanskritam Kannada when both of them are availing the same 6.8K data set? This is very difficult to reconcile.
Yeah, maybe due to like less data regime.
So maybe Ganeshji, what we can do is let him run some more experiments and analysis, and we can look at it. I mean, some more work needs to be done here. As you said, there are many questions that need.
Yeah, but I would say try and see if there is some bug or something to be tuned in the Sanskrit Kannada regime, because 6.57 and 17.11 or even 13.10, the gap is too much. So can you see if there's some bug or something to be fixed?
But okay, the other thing, hold on now. I would say that Hindi.
Sorry, just before you finish, we have found this issue in the past. What I have seen is sometimes there could be some data representation issues. So have you inspected the training epochs like Sanskrit Kannada? Just because I've seen that this problem especially occurs when the training epochs are just giving out gibberish, right? So just actually inspect the training epoch, see what's happening. Maybe it could be a beam size issue, right? For some reason, Sanskrit Kannada, we need to change the beam size.
Okay. So you optimize the two teacher models. That's basically the idea, that you find parameters 3 of T. But one important thing is that Hindi Kannada if it's on the same data, I would say that is the upper bound that you can reach through an intermediate language, right? It's not the lower bound. So 13.1, if that is optimized, that's the upper bound you can reach, because it is the same data.
But yeah, the assumption is like it should be the lower bound, because basically the distillation should improve.
No, because it is the same data set. See, I mean, think of it in terms of a human being, correct? If somebody is teaching, some Hindi teacher is teaching Kannada directly versus lost in translation, right? Hindi to any other language, doesn't matter. And then back to Kannada. It cannot be better than Hindi to Kannada directly, because it's the same data set. I'm again saying it's the same data set. If it's a lesser number of data, etc., all those things.
But the knowledge distillation also has the Hindi to Kannada supervised loss term as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if we.
But think of it,
Yeah.
I mean, forget about the neural network models for the time being. Just try to see that from Hindi to Kannada, what you can learn if you have direct data. You can learn all the nuances of from these 6,000 whatever things, correct? And then you are, as opposed to you are taking Hindi to some other space where some of these nuances may be added, some of these nuances may be lost, and then Sanskrit to Kannada again, this confusion will happen, right? This is the perfect lost in translation problem. So if you translate a Hindi book to Kannada directly, where the translator knows both the languages, versus if you do Hindi to Sanskrit and then Sanskrit to Kannada, it is very clear that the translation quality will not be there. I mean, even for human beings, right? See, that's why all the European literature that we read in India from French, because people translate it from English, which has been translated from French. That quality is poor if you directly translate from French to Bangla, etc. I mean, there are known examples of that.
Fair point. But I was thinking actually, say the underlying, we are trying to learn a translation model from a amount of data which has.
So now think of it. Why do you need this thing? Because if there is not enough Hindi to Kannada data, you can leverage this intermediate model to it. But if it's the same amount of data, then it cannot.
Yeah. Actually, one proposal was like, if we can like make the teacher stronger with more.
Yes, the teacher stronger, meaning the teacher cannot be made stronger with the same amount of data, right?
More parallel data of Sanskrit.
Correct. And if you're saying the Hindi Kannada baseline also has the same amount of data, that I would argue is the upper bound, not the lower bound.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll just think of what what can be done, and we can look at it. Okay, so Ganeshji, so we are not having any meeting on 21st, right?
Yes, I think we can skip
21st, 28th also, I'm not sure if people are traveling, etc. We can skip or we can keep it up. I will not be there, but that's okay. If most people are there, then it's okay.
Sure, then we can skip the next 2 meetings.
I mean, maybe that makes more sense. Yeah.
So, namaste everyone then.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.